All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. Up front will be Giancarlo and Max Gunther. On the second row will be the points leader, Adam Barker, with Simon Zierk. Nick Sorensen Kern comes into this morning second in points. He starts fifth with Yannick Gunther in sixth. Mike Dolling starts seventh. Jason Miller starting in eighth. And Harry Volsmeer starting back in ninth. You know, Sean saying it's a very technical track, very tough to pass. I did hear a lot of drivers talking about it is a tough track to pass. There's two really good braking zones to try and outbrake somebody. But other than that, it's very, very tricky, and there's not a whole lot of other places to pass here. Definitely going to make for some interesting moves here, and in a few places, the driver said, yes, you can commit and make a move through there, but it's a 50-50 shot if you survive that move. We'll see how it plays out that first couple of laps, as it looks like all of Harry Volsmeer in the McLaren does not take to the grid. He did not put in a qualifying time. Hopefully he'll be out here. I was looking forward to seeing McLaren back out on track this morning. Drivers going around for their warm-up lap, and an interesting note this morning as well. The track temperature down at 64 degrees. Air temperature also 64 degrees. So a lot of grip, and those engines will run a lot better. Early in the season, if you recall, a lot of the tracks were very, very hot. Drivers slip sliding away all the time. But apparently it is pretty cold, or a little bit cooler anyway, in Norway this morning. Drivers also talking about the scenery is lovely here. I'm thinking you may not want to be looking at the scenery too much, at least in that first couple of laps. And I did hear that the tire walls were actually... Oh, Giancarlo blinking again. I did hear the tire walls were very detailed, to the point that there's multiple tread patterns of tires when you get into one of them. If one of the drivers parks into the tire wall this morning, we'll try and get a look. Hopefully, though, everybody makes it around here clean. Also, in race number 2, they will have to make that fuel stop, and pit road has been a big point of discussion this morning. Several drivers saying that the pit road speed limiter just is not working that great here. In addition to getting on and off pit road here, a bit tricky. There goes the Porsche pace car onto pit road. They come out of the final turn, and Giancarlo's going to lead them down toward the start-finish line. He fires. Green flag in the air. Giancarlo quickly in the lead. Adam Barker makes a move to second. They're side by side. Max Gunther pulls back into second, though. Simon Zierk battling side by side with Sorensen. Sorensen trying to move up and close that gap in the points with Adam Barker, but Simon pulls it off. Simon now to fourth. Sorensen in fifth, now having to deal with Yannick Gunther on the outside. Sorensen managing to clear him. Adam Barker way wide. Simon Zierk goes by to third. Hard right-hand turn. Giancarlo, meanwhile, 0.8 of a second lead, but Max is closing that gap. Oh! The leader this around. Giancarlo spun. Remember, Giancarlo had not seen this track before this morning. Goes a little wide there and looks like he just gets on the brakes and sends it around. Backed it up into the wall, getting out of the runoff, but losing a ton of time here early. And then he spins again into the tire wall. Giancarlo now all the way back into 8th as Max Gunther in the lead. Simon Zierk now into 2nd place. Adam Barker, the points leader, in 3rd. But Adam's about to have his primary challenger, Nick Sorensen, right behind him. What a turn of events here early. Giancarlo swept last week at Suzuka. Not looking good for him, at least in race 1 this morning. Max Gunther opening up a 2.3 second gap while 2nd, 3rd, and 4th battle behind. Worth noting, Giancarlo now 12.3 seconds behind. We've seen him come back from big gaps before, so worth noting right now that it's 12.3 seconds, and we'll see here in a few laps if he's picked up any time at all. Simon Zierk still holds 2nd with Adam Barker and Nick Sorensen right behind him, as Max Gunther just setting the fastest lap of the race, and Yannick Gunther back in 5th place trying to run down that battle ahead of him. Mike Dolling back in 6th. Jason Miller in 7th at the moment. Jason has been getting exponentially better every single week. I would expect next season to see Jason up battling for and getting more than a few wins. Could even be a contender in the points battle, as he just has improved that much over the course of this season. Giancarlo just set the fastest lap of the race, previously held by Max Gunther, trying to close that gap down. He's cut down half a second, but he is still 4.8 seconds behind Miller and still right at 12 seconds behind the leader. Meanwhile, the leader, Max Gunther, has pulled away, now has a 4-second lead over Simon Zierk. Adam Barker looking for a move here. Yannick Gunther is closing in on this battle slowly but surely. Max Gunther, meanwhile, out front, continuing to set fast, consistent laps. Meanwhile, Simon Zierk really having to defend. Adam Barker makes a move. He looks down to the inside. Can't complete it, and may have opened the door for Sorensen. Not quite yet, but Sorensen is looking. You notice the difference between the line on the line the BMW's taken versus the Porsche. Porsche obviously able to carry a little bit more momentum, but going a little bit wider. And here goes Adam Barker again. Tries to outbrake into the turn, can't get it. And now Sorensen shoots to the inside to 3rd. Remember, Sorensen and Barker, that is the battle for the title right now. Adam pulls back by. Adam currently has coming into this morning, a 25-point lead over Nick Sorensen. And they're going to battle it out every mile of every race until the championship is decided. If Adam can do it, he will pull off his third consecutive championship here this season. What a great turnaround as last year. Adam really struggled. Here goes Sorensen looking to the inside. Can't get there yet. Adam goes wide. Sorensen back to the inside. Sorensen may have him, and now Yannick Gunther has caught him. Mike Doling now not far behind. Adam pulls back ahead. Simon Zierk is loving what's happening behind him. He's starting to open up a gap. Meanwhile, Yannick Gunther has caught up to these guys. Mike Doling is almost there. Giancarlo has pulled back up into 7th place, 2.5 seconds back from Doling. Also 10.5 seconds behind the leader at the moment. So Giancarlo is coming quickly. Giancarlo managing to get by Jason Miller for 7th. Oh, Giancarlo was having some internet problems this morning, obviously still blinking a bit. Mike Doling in 6th place. That might be Giancarlo's toughest pass here. Doling exceedingly good at being fast and defensive at the same time. Max Gunther's lead now 5.8 seconds as they continue to battle back behind him. Simon had opened up a little bit of a gap on Adam Barker and Nick Sorensen when they were battling, but Adam has managed to run him back down. Adam go, oh no! Sorensen and Barker get together. They're both around. Several cars get by. The whole field is by. Watch this. Sorensen, Adam just leaves the door open here. Goes too wide through the corner, tries to cut back down. Sorensen already had the nose in. Both of them at a point on the track where the car is already feeling a little bit light in the back end. They both go around. And Adam Barker is off track again. As Jason Miller goes, Adam Barker's going to pit road. See if we can see, does he have any damage? I don't see any. Pit road camera is not showing us much. Something is obviously wrong with the car for him to be coming to pit road right now. The man who benefited the most from that, Giancarlo, now up into the top 5. Sorensen does not come to pit road. He's going to stay out. Barker has repaired. He is back out on track as well. Giancarlo, meanwhile, has caught up to Mike Doling. Just over halfway through this race, Giancarlo had the incident on lap 1, went around, went to the back, and started running guys down immediately. He's going to try and make something happen. He carries a lot of momentum into that final turn. Giancarlo trying to set up on Mike Doling. He went all the way back to 8th place, now on a charge. Back toward the front. He has lost some time on the leader. He was under 10 seconds behind at one point. now about 11.1 seconds behind. But he is going to be able to pick up several spots if he can get by Dowling. Nick Sorensen back in 7th, closing in on Jason Miller in 6th. Adam Barker now back in 8th place. And remember, the top 7 will invert going into the second race. Right now, that's going to put Nick Sorensen starting up front, and since it's only 7 cars to invert, that'll put Adam Barker starting at the back. This could be a huge points day for Sorensen. As they run right now, Sorensen would only make up a point or 2 on Adam Barker. It'd be a 1-point gain. However, with Nick potentially starting up front for race 2, Adam starting in the back, if Nick can get out and get a win, if Adam doesn't make up a lot of spots, could be a big swing. And remember, that points battle, only 25 points apart coming into this morning. Max Gunther, meanwhile, now having a 6-second lead, over Simon Zierk. Simon has managed to pull away after that incident between Adam Barker and Nick Sorensen. Simon now has a 6-second lead over Yannick Gunther in 3rd. Giancarlo has gotten by Mike Dowling for 4th, and now sets his sights on Yannick. Coming into this morning, obviously Giancarlo missing 5 races this season. He's missed 5 weeks, but of the 4 weeks he has been in, he has had 6 wins and swept the opening week at Road America, also swept last week at Suzuka, won the first race at Motegi, and won the first race at Catalunya. I believe mathematically it is actually possible for Giancarlo to make up that ground and win the title, but it is a big, big long shot. He would have to sweep both races each week for the remainder of the season, and Adam Barker, Nick Sorensen, and Max Gunther would have to have terrible races for him to make up enough ground. And Max is definitely not having a bad race. Max came into this morning 3rd in points, 20 points behind Sorensen. Right now, Max would make up 11 points on Sorensen. Simon Zierk currently runs in 2nd. Simon came into the morning 4th in points. Just under 80 points behind the top 3. Yannick Gunther, the other half of Team Gunther, currently runs in 3rd. Yannick has been coming on strong the last few weeks, currently 10th in points. Should come past Matt Baer this morning for 9th. The Mad Bear we haven't seen since Catalunya, so hopefully we'll see him in the final 2 weeks of the season. Max Gunther, Simon Zierk, both big gaps in front and behind, just running consistent laps right now, making sure they stay safe. Meanwhile, Yannick Gunther has his hands full with Giancarlo. It's been another epic comeback for Giancarlo this morning after spinning on lap 1, going all the way to the tail end of the field, has fought his way back to 4th place, looking for that podium finish. Oh, Yannick gets a little bit wide. Giancarlo's starting to look inside. And Yannick just moves over and lets Giancarlo go. Giancarlo now into 3rd, 6.3 seconds behind. I doubt he has enough time to catch Simon Zierk, though. Last time by, Giancarlo was a full second faster than Simon, but with 2.5 minutes left to go, he's not going to have enough time. Yannick now going to have to deal with Mike Dolling. Sorensen has closed that gap just a little bit now, down to 3.7. Yannick Gunther has definitely had his hands full with people attacking, but still having a great race this morning. Team Gunther overall this season has been the stronger of the two big teams of Team Gunther and Team Dolling. Paul Dolling only making a couple of races this season. Max Gunther coming around, should pick up the white flag this time. Looking for his 4th win of the season here this morning. Coming out of the final turn, looking for the white flag here. White flag is in the air for Max Gunther. Simon Zierk in 2nd, Giancarlo in 3rd. I don't believe Giancarlo, who has made up a lot of ground here, is going to have enough time to get to 2nd place. Yannick still holding on to 4th. Mike Dolling all over the back bumper. Jason Miller still holding on to 6th, but Nick Sorensen is closing in quickly. Adam Barker back in 8th. A rough morning for the points leader so far. And here comes Max Gunther out of that final turn. His 4th win of the season. Simon Zierk is going to come home in 2nd. And Giancarlo, an epic comeback for 3rd. And let's see if we can talk to our top 3, starting with Giancarlo. Hey, Giancarlo, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, that was quite a comeback.
Yeah, I think I need to keep a little whiteboard and check the times I've spun on lap 1 as they add up. But I was pretty fortunate that there was a bit of trouble in front and was able to just slowly but surely make my way back up to a podium spot.
I have to say, for never having seen the track before this morning, that was quite an impressive run.
Yeah, thank you. It's kind of slowly but surely, I guess more laps lead to slightly more pace. I think my lack of experience led to that spin, I'm guessing, but also was able to get my pace back on board afterwards.
Well, it was a great comeback, and obviously still a little bit of connection issue there you might want to address, and I do believe the other driver said you had to start from the back if it was blinking again.
Yeah, I think you might be right. We'll see how it goes.
All right, good luck. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, Doug.
Simon Zierk came home in 2nd. Hey, Simon, it's Doug. You got me?
Hello, Doug.
Hey, man, that was a great race, and you had a good pace the whole time.
Thank you. I was not so on pace, but I really profited from all the depth on the track.
You definitely had one of the fewest off tracks, the fewest problems. Just consistency really seemed to pay off this morning.
Yeah, that's it. Slow and steady.
Well, that is how the turtle wins. So, man, it was.
Yeah, let's hope the best for the second race.
It's definitely going to help, and I know there's going to be some chaos ahead of you. So, good luck, and man, congratulations! Great to see you back with a podium finish.
Thank you.
And finally, Max Gunther gets the win. Max, congratulations, man. Your 4th win of the season.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Obviously, there's some chaos there early, but you had such a fast pace. You had the fastest lap the first couple of laps and just continued to check out the whole time.
Yeah, it was a really good race. I really love the track. It suits my driving style, I think. So it's really great.
It also, you much like Simon, very, very consistent. Not a lot of obviously the two of the fastest laps early on, but the consistency and keeping the car on track seemed to really benefit you.
Yeah, it was quite hard sometimes because the off tracks here are pretty brutal, the slowdowns especially. But if you avoid them, it's actually really good.
Well, man, you definitely avoided them, but now you got to come from 7th place to the front. How are you feeling about your chances there?
Well, I was thinking about aggressive fuel saving, so not to pit at all. Probably. Don't know how it works. Don't know how it will work out, but I'll try it.
Well, good luck. I hope that works. I would love to see. I've been waiting all season to see if somebody could pull that trick off.
I know that it works here, but yeah, well, we'll see if it works in those racing conditions here.
Well, good luck and congratulations on your 4th win of the season, Max.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you.
Max Gunther gets his 4th win of the season, and it sounds like he's got a strategy to get it done in race 2. This could get interesting. We have not seen anybody go the full distance without pitting in race 2. The second race was specifically set up to force a pit stop, so nobody has actually tried it. We've seen guys go down to the last 5 minutes, get a splash and go, but we've never seen somebody stretch it that far, so this ought to get interesting. Let me know in the comments, do you think that Max can pull this off? Can he aggressively save fuel long enough to get the win? Looks like none of the drivers coming out for warm-up. Just a few seconds left to go. Then we go to race number 2. All right, their warm-up is over. It's time to go to race number 2. And your starting lineup, inverting the top 7, Nick Sorensen, Jason Miller on the front row, Mike Dolling, Yannick Gunther of the second, Giancarlo, Simon Zierk starting on the third row, winner Max Gunther from race 1 starts 7th, and points leader Adam Barker starting in 8th. Does not look like Harry is going to take to the track at all this morning. That's kind of sad. I was really looking forward to seeing how the McLaren did out here. We have seen in the past, because the McLaren is so light and just has so much grip, these kind of tracks with a lot of tight sections, even though it's got less power, it really handles, and oftentimes handles even better than the Porsche on some of these tracks. Nick Sorensen leading him down. Remember, Nick gained just a point on Adam Barker in that last race that gapped now down to 24. However, with Sorensen starting up front and Adam starting back in 8th place, this could be a big swing in the points this morning. In fact, from 1st to 8th is a 24-point gap. If Adam Barker were to finish in 8th and Nick Sorensen win, we would go into week 11 with a tie for the points lead. This could be a huge morning for one driver in the points battle. And what about Jason Miller up on the front row? Could he get his first win? He definitely had a lot of pace in race number 1. Could this come down to pit strategy? Could Miller do it this morning? And of course, we're going to be keeping a close eye on Max Gunther, who is planning on using fuel strategy to not have to pit this morning. Pit road entry and exit are going to play a factor here as well. Here they go off into the final turn. Quick check of the track temperature, see if it's come up at all. It is up, but just 1 degree at 65 degrees. The air temperature still at 64. Pace car is in. Here we go. Race number 2 is underway. Sorensen fires, and the green is in the air. And they're 3 wide behind. This, oh boy, this is going to get a bit dicey. They go off into 1. Barker shoots it up the middle and makes it work. He's coming under Miller now. Barker already up into 4th. Sets his sights on Yannick Dolling and Sorensen. Adam Barker really made a power move on the start. After lap 1, we'll go back and rewatch that start and Adam Barker's move. That was gutsy. Sorensen out front, Mike Dolling in second, Yannick Gunther in third, Adam Barker in fourth, Giancarlo in fifth. Max Gunther backed off when he saw that 3 wide. He's still sitting back in 8th place. Sets his sights on Jason Miller. Max definitely knows how to get the win here. He had a lot of speed in race 1. They are 2 wide. Everybody's bowing. Sorensen losing some spots here. Mike Dolling has gone to the lead. Yannick now in second. Sorensen in third has Barker right on his bumper. Giancarlo is right there as well. Simon Zierk, most of the field still nose to tail. Gunther has gotten past Miller. He is now up into 7th. Miller back in 8th. Mike Dolling is loving what's going on in his mirror as he continues to pull away. Let's see how Adam Barker picked up all those spots on the start. There's Adam in the Hello Kitty car. As they come through the final turn and head for the green flag. Here they go. Adam gets a really good restart and shoots straight up the middle. Jason Miller in the middle of the track. He can only advance so much. Holds that middle line through there. Miller goes wide and Adam Barker shoots to the inside immediately. And what a move on the start by Adam Barker to pick up 4 spots. Yannick Gunther, however, in second, just set the fastest lap so far. Yannick closing the gap on Dolling right now. Dolling, as we've heard in the past, one of the hardest drivers to pass. He can put that car anywhere he needs it to be and still have a bunch of speed, making it very, very tricky to get around him. Nick Sorensen looking for a way around Yannick. Adam Barker saw during race 1. During race 1, Adam Barker saw if you tried to make a move and timed it wrong, they open up that line way too easily, and it gives the other driver behind an opportunity. Looks like he is going to try that now here in race 2. He is waiting for that opportunity. And it looks like Sorensen got a slowdown coming through that section. Sorensen losing more spots. As Giancarlo now up into 4th, Barker into 3rd. We heard several drivers talk about in pre-race that the track limits here are a bit tight, but worse than that is the fact that the slowdowns here are excessive. Even a little bit of a cut through the S's here, and you're losing 2.5 seconds. Obviously, that is cutting and affecting guys like Sorensen extremely bad. Giancarlo just set the fastest lap last time by. Meanwhile, Adam Barker all over Yannick's back bumper. Mike Dolling just ahead. Simon Zierk in 4th. Sorensen and Giancarlo battle it out. Giancarlo managing to hold on to 5th place, but Sorensen not making it easy for him. Did Sorensen just get a... No, he did not. It looked like he had swung over because he had gotten another slowdown. You can see Nick is being very careful about his lines through the turns now. Meanwhile, Simon Zierk has managed to fight his way up into fourth and is gaining on Adam Barker in third. Up front, Mike Dolling using every bit of the track here. Trying to keep his speed and momentum up. Yannick tries to look low, but the BMW of Dolling just pulls away. Yannick having to try and attack and defend as Adam Barker waiting for an opening here. Adam starts to look to the inside, can't get there. BMW able to hold that inside line a whole lot better. You see how much wider the Porsches are taking the turn as Adam Barker sits in the slipstream and sets up the move into turn one. Can he get the nose in? Brakes late into one. He's got the nose ahead. They go side by side through two. Adam pushing the throttle out early. They touch coming out of two. They're still side by side. Adam carries the momentum and Simon Zierk goes through the open door. Zierk now on the outside of Yannick. Zierk can't make it happen, has to back out. And now Giancarlo is there. Simon Zierk now looks back to the inside on Yannick. Simon can't... Oh, Sorensen's making a move on the inside of Giancarlo. Sorensen is not done yet. He keeps looking for a move, trying to get past Giancarlo here in the early going. 10 minutes into this, almost 10 minutes into this thing, and there has been no real gap here. Max Gunther just behind the battle, but remember, he is in aggressive fuel-saving mode here. Giancarlo still looking for a way past Simon Zierk. Simon has made several attempts on Yannick so far. Did hear him say, as we mentioned here in race one, the Audi is the fastest car here, but it is so tail happy that it is actively trying to kill you all the way around the track. The Porsche was the fastest throughout the week. However, it looks like the BMWs are nothing to sneeze at here this morning. These guys are definitely able to fight back. That extra power over the Porsche come into play here. Giancarlo sets up for turn one, doesn't have the momentum. Sorensen waiting for Giancarlo to make a mistake here. Giancarlo making that big mistake on lap one of race one. Hasn't made a mistake here yet, though. And remember, as we have seen all morning long, once that door is open, it is so easy for multiple cars to get through if you're stacked up nose to tail like these guys are here this morning. Adam Barker now in second place has caught up to Mike Dolling, but it is one thing to catch Mike, another to pass. Giancarlo has crashed. Giancarlo side by side with Simon Zierk. Oh! Sorensen gets into the back bumper. Giancarlo backs it into the wall but gets rolling again. However, Giancarlo slips back into 8th. Take a look at this from another angle. Looks like Sorensen just had a big run into that turn. Giancarlo checked up far sooner than Sorensen expected. Sorensen now sits in 6th with Giancarlo back in 8th. Looking at the back bumper, it looks like Giancarlo's Porsche is okay. He looks to the inside on Miller to take 7th. Meanwhile, up front, Adam Barker still trying to find a way around Mike Dolling. Mike a little wide there. It's allowing Yannick and Simon to close back up. Max Gunther has moved up into 5th with everything happening in front of him. He is still in fuel saving mode. Let's ride along with Yannick for a moment. You hear he has been very easy on the gas. And clutching it down into the turn. He is definitely in a very aggressive fuel saving mode here. If Max can pull this off, it'll be the first time this season somebody has made it through race 2 without a pit stop. Nobody else has been able to do that all season long. The races were set up specifically to force a pit stop. There's been a few races where it has been very close. Guys have been able to make it right to the end of the race before getting a splash of gas. But nobody has been able to go the entire race on a tank. Max thinks he might be able to do it here this morning. Up front, Mike Dolling, Adam Barker still battling. Yannick currently runs in 3rd. Simon Zierk in 4th. Max runs in 5th. Sorensen up to 6th place. No damage apparently on the front end or the splitter of that car. Giancarlo now in 7th. Jason Miller. Oh no, Miller is around. Miller quickly recovers the car, gets going. Adam Barker has gone off track. Mike Dolling has gone off track. And this is, oh! This is similar to what we saw in race 1. Adam Barker now drifts way back into 7th. Dolling gets going quicker. He is now into 4th. And everything has changed again as Yannick Gunther now has the lead. Simon Zierk in 3rd and Max Gunther in 4th. Dolling in 5th. Sorensen is 6th. Adam in 7th. Giancarlo comes to pit, Adam is in 6th. Giancarlo in pit road in 7th. Jason Miller now in 8th. The last 2 laps have been chaos. Giancarlo obviously getting his pit stop out of the way here early. He should make it on fuel from here. Yannick Gunther now under attack from Simon Zierk. Max holding on to third. You have to wonder if he's still able to save fuel, knowing that he has got Mike, Nick, and Adam right on his tail. Let's see if he is still in fuel-saving mode. Being very, very gentle, coming on the throttle. In fact, let's just take this lap with Mac. Oh, he is way out of the throttle and on the clutch. Using momentum to get around these turns and pick the speed back up slowly. Also trying to stay in the slipstream of the BMW ahead. And back on the clutch, he is saving fuel. That'll be really impressive. If Max pulls this off, that's going to be... Oh, they're side by side just ahead of him. That's going to allow him back into the slipstream and much, much closer. Completely on the clutch coming down the hill. And back to full throttle on the straightaways. Coming through that final turn back toward the start-finish line. Using every bit of the track possible. Adam Barker had an off-track just a moment ago. Oh! Looks like he was headed for pit road, but just a little too much sin. Sorensen is now on pit road. We saw a lot. Yannick has gone to the lead. Sorry, Yannick was already in the lead. Simon Zierk now in second. Max Gunther in third. Dolling back in fourth after the incident with Adam Barker. Jason Miller now to fifth as everybody has started to pit. The leaders come through the final turn. They do not. The top four does not come to pit road. Giancarlo after his stop in sixth, Sorensen in seventh, Barker in eighth. Barker and Sorensen continuing to battle. Remember, that is the battle for the points lead. So despite being seventh and eighth, those positions matter a lot here this morning. Simon Zierk, meanwhile, all over Yannick's back bumper, and not far behind is Max and Mike Dolling. Giancarlo just setting the fastest lap of the race yet again, back in sixth place. 11 1/4 seconds back from fifth place, Jason Miller. Jason has not been to pit road yet. Also worth noting, Giancarlo, Nick Sorensen, and Adam Barker, 6th, 7th, and 8th. The only three drivers to make a lap in under 1:19. Everybody else in the 1:19s, those three drivers, 1:18. Simon Zierk losing a little ground to Yannick right now. Max Gunther not pushing the issue as he is trying to save fuel. Likely intentionally staying in the slipstream of Simon Zierk just to save that additional fuel. Giancarlo has crashed. Giancarlo cutting up. Oh, just gets loose. As he was headed into the final turn, he backs it up to make sure he doesn't get in Sorensen's way. Adam Barker slips by as well. Now Jason Miller on pit road. Giancarlo now back into 7th. Adam Barker to 6th. Nick Sorensen to 5th. Yannick Gunther starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Simon's here. Remember, Yannick and Simon both likely still having to pit, as will Mike Dowling. Max Gunther in fuel saving mode. He has no intention of pitting in this race. Despite his fuel-saving strategy right here, Max Gunther's lap times still on par with the 2 leaders. Nick Sorensen in 5th, Adam in 6th, Giancarlo in 7th. Giancarlo starting to close back in on Adam. Adam doing everything he can to keep Nick Sorensen in sight in case of a mistake. Remember, Sorensen gained 1 point on Adam in race 1. As they run right now, he would gain 3 more points, but if Giancarlo gets around him, that would be a 6-point swing for Nick Sorensen. And it looks like Sorensen is starting to pull away just a little bit from Barker. Now a 2-second lead. Have to wonder if Max Gunther talked to Yannick about fuel saving. Let's see if Yannick is saving any fuel. Yannick is definitely pushing right to the red line. Yannick is not saving a drop of fuel here. Nope, we were seeing Max on the clutch as he went down that hill, but Yannick is sending it full power down the hill. Max Gunther in 3rd place, losing a little bit of touch with Simon. Now 1 second ahead. Simon just half a second behind our leader. Dowling currently runs in 5th, Sorensen in 6th. The top 4 have not pitted, 5th through 8th have. Simon all over the back bumper here. Simon definitely trying to challenge for the lead here. The BMW does have a power advantage over the Porsche. And he's going to use it here up the hill. They're side by side. The Porsche manages to pull ahead in the S's. But Simon looks back to the inside. While they battle, Max able to close back up just a little bit, back into the slipstream of the BMW. Simon losing a little bit of ground there after the battle. He's going to have to fight his way back up. None of the top four come to pit road this time. Now I'm wondering if Simon Zierk is trying to save any fuel. Nope. Doesn't appear Simon trying to save any fuel here. Wow, what a run, what a closing rate Simon has through that section of track. And Simon now looks down to the inside. He's going for the lead. Comes out of that turn on the outside. Simon Zierk back in the lead. Simon Zierk back on point. And I do believe this is Simon Zierk's first. Nope, I stand corrected. He's led 4 laps coming prior to today. Great to see Simon back in out front. Simon has had a very consistent season, putting him 4th in points. Giancarlo just set another fast lap in 6th place as he tries to run down Nick Sorensen in 5th. He has gotten past Adam Barker. Simon Zierk gets past, reclaims the lead, and is taken off. Already almost a 1-second lead over Yannick Gunther. Max Gunther sitting in 3rd, Dowling in 4th. Does not appear anybody else other than Max Gunther trying to save fuel here. And Simon is starting to pull away very quickly, already up to 1 1/4 seconds. Mike Dowling throwing that BMW through the turns at this point as he starts to close back in on Max. BMW definitely seems to have the advantage through the downhill sections and as they power back up the hill. Porsche definitely has the handling advantage here, but it's a fairly even battle between Porsche and Beamer this morning. Giancarlo continues to set faster and faster laps as he tries to close the gap on Sorensen and get to the top 5. Nick Sorensen has just crashed. This section of track has bit more than one driver this morning as Sorensen goes around. Giancarlo, Adam Barker both get by. Sorensen now back in 7th place. Adam Barker currently sits in 6th. Giancarlo now in 5th. We knew today might have some huge implications for the title battle. Barker and Sorensen have been back and forth all morning long. But right now, Barker, the points leader, Yannick Gunther is on pit road. And the points leader currently ahead of 2nd place Nick Sorensen. And looks like Yannick might have had a similar issue to what Adam Barker did going to pit road. Let's see. Take another look at that as we were looking at the wrong Gunther there for a moment. Yannick swings it wide, sends it in deep. We did say, oh yes, same as we saw of Adam Barker, just a little too deep in there. Now putting Max Gunther into 2nd place, Doling now up to 3rd. And Simon Zierk's lead now over 2 seconds. Six and a half minutes left to go in this battle. Simon Zierk, Mike Doling still need to hit pit road. Giancarlo now up into 4th. Adam Barker back in the top 5. Nick Sorensen in 6th. Yannick back in 7th. Jason Miller sitting in 8th. Will Simon Zierk come in and give up the lead this time? Max Gunther is starting to close in. Now just 1.7 seconds back. Simon Zierk gives up the lead. He is on pit road with 5 to go. Max Gunther has assumed the lead. Doling is in as well. Giancarlo currently sits in 4th as Simon and Mike on pit road. Giancarlo may pick up 2nd place here. He does. And moving Adam Barker, I do believe, will take 3rd. But Max with the lead has a 21-second lead. Max Gunther trying to stretch the fuel to the end, a 21-second lead. He definitely has some room to play with and stay out of the throttle as much as possible. Can he do it? Can he be the first driver to ever make the 2nd race without a pit stop? You know it's going to be close if he does. But his strategy of aggressive fuel saving is paying off here. Giancarlo is closing in, but he is still 18.5 seconds behind at second. Adam Barker sits in third. Nick Sorensen now in fourth. Simon Zierk in fifth. Can Max Gunther make this work? Just 3.5 minutes until we find out. Giancarlo in second place, still setting some of the fastest laps out there. Last time by, he was 3 seconds faster than the leader, but Max saving fuel. And Giancarlo still 16.5 seconds back. Max does not come to pit road. He thinks he can do it. Off into turn one. Giancarlo just now coming out of the final turn. 15 seconds back now. Adam Barker in third. Sorensen coming out in fourth. Big gaps all the way behind. No battles on track at the moment. Bringing the question down, it's all going to come down to that car. The Porsche driven by Max Gunther. Has he saved enough fuel? He's got a good lead, 14.25 seconds through the final turn. Just needs to stretch it 1 or 2 more laps. White flag is in the air. Max Gunther has to make it around one more time. You know he had to be happy to see that. He has stretched the fuel. The lead 13.5 seconds over Giancarlo. Adam back in third. Another 5.5 seconds back. Everybody else had to hit pit road. Max thought he could stretch the fuel. Good morning, Russell. Down the hill he goes. Can he? Doesn't sound like he's saving fuel anymore. Nope, he is full throttle around here. He knows he can make it now as he goes through the final turn. Max Gunther has done it. He can coast from here. He has made the second race with no pit stop and wins by 14 seconds. Giancarlo just now comes through that final turn. Here comes Giancarlo for second place. Adam Barker will come home in third. What a finish. What a strategy move. Let's talk to Adam Barker. Hey, Adam, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, man, how we doing?
Hey, good. That was a bit of a wild morning for you.
Yeah, crazy day. It was interesting. I was just a little bit anxious to get through Mike, and did the same thing that happened to me and Nick. So I should have known better. And then Giancarlo, super quick as normal, and Max with the ultimate strategy then of no pit.
Yes, that was the ultimate strategy. At any point, did anybody else consider trying it?
We knew it was possibly on, but Max kept it very quiet. He didn't say anything, and we didn't realize until too late. And I think he ended up with more fuel at the end than we did, and we pitted.
Well, that strategy paid off, but man, you extend your points lead a little bit more. 2 weeks left to go, and you're well on your way to your third consecutive title.
No, I think I'm third actually, but with the drop weeks, it means Max is winning.
Oh, holy cow. Okay, I haven't seen the calculations for the drop weeks. Well, regardless, man, a great morning and a great comeback, buddy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Adam Barker comes home third. Giancarlo finishing in second. Giancarlo, that was a bit of a wild race. You had another problem and still managed to make a comeback for a podium.
Yeah, it was. It seems like Porsche continued to do Porsche things throughout the race. But Max literally hit it out of the park. He was playing 4D chess when we were all playing checkers. It was a fantastic drive on his end.
It definitely was. Man, that was an awesome comeback. Obviously, your whole morning was just coming back from stuff that happened early, but the fastest lap of the morning in both races.
Yeah, I even with the issues, I guess I was able to put laps together every once in a while.
Well, you got it done again, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
And now for our winner, and Max, that was truly impressive. I was watching in car, seeing you clutch going down the hill, doing everything you could. Aggressive fuel saving got the job done.
Thank you, Doug. It was amazing. It was really nerve-wracking. And I kept my cool, so it worked out in the end.
I was wondering, after you saw everybody come off of pit road and you had that 21-second lead, we saw it obviously shrinking as Giancarlo came, but that last lap, it didn't look like you saved a drop of fuel, and I heard you had more fuel left than everybody else.
Yes, I still had, as I crossed the finish line, I still had 5 liters left.
You outsmarted everybody. Now, going into Indy or Red Bull Ring, do we see you try and pull that off again?
I think this track here actually is very good for fuel saving. I don't know if Indianapolis or Red Bull actually you can manage to save that much fuel. So it will be more like pedal to the metal, full speed ahead.
Well, man, you played the perfect strategy this morning and ended up sweeping the morning, and man, that was just an awesome day overall. Congratulations, Max.
Thank you very much, Doug. Thank you very much.
Max Gunther sweeps the morning, gets the win at Rudskogen, and wow, what a strategy that was at the end. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to come back tonight for BRR, and tomorrow night, massive whale PD, over $3,000 on the line. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you tonight.